If there's one thing every gardener wants, it's tomatoes that don't just grow, but explode with vigor, taste, and color. There's a little-known Korean natural farming, or KNF technique, that's quietly revolutionizing how serious growers achieve that kind of explosive growth. It doesn't rely on store-bought fertilizers or compost piles that take months to mature. Instead, it turns your kitchen waste into a living probiotic soil booster that acts like a nutrient shot straight into your tomato roots. This method, known as fermented food scrap fertilizer, is the probiotic revolution your garden has been waiting for. The secret behind fermented food scraps and why KNF gardeners swear by it, Korean natural farming, is built on one principle: feed the microbes, and the microbes will feed your plants. Instead of relying on chemical nutrients, KNF focuses on cultivating beneficial microorganisms that make nutrients bioavailable in the soil. The genius of fermenting food scraps lies in what happens during the process. When food waste, think vegetable trimmings, banana peels, or leftover rice, is mixed with sugar or molasses, it begins to ferment. During fermentation, lactic acid bacteria, yeast, and other beneficial microbes multiply rapidly, pre-digesting the food waste and breaking down nutrients into plant-ready forms. This microbial army doesn't just fertilize your plants, it rebuilds the soil's microbiome. When you pour this fermented mixture into your tomato beds, it activates dormant soil life, speeds up nutrient cycling, and improves root uptake. Tomatoes respond almost immediately. Within days, you'll notice thicker stems, more intense leaf color, and eventually stronger flowering and fruit set. It's like giving your soil a probiotic boost, and your tomatoes can't get enough of it. How to make the probiotic soil shot step by step. The process is simple, but precision makes all the difference. Start by collecting about 1 kilogram of mixed kitchen scraps. Use a variety of fruit and vegetable waste. Banana peels, cabbage cores, and overripe fruit work beautifully. Avoid anything oily, salty, or cooked. First, cut the scraps into small pieces to increase the surface area for fermentation. Then, place the chopped material into a clean container. A wide-mouthed jar or plastic bucket works fine. Now, add brown sugar or unsulfured molasses in a 1-to-1 ratio by weight. So for 1 kilogram of scraps, just add 1 kilogram of sugar. Mix thoroughly until every piece is coated. The sugar will draw moisture out of the scraps through osmosis, creating an environment where beneficial microbes thrive while suppressing rot-causing organisms. Cover the container loosely to allow gases to escape, but keep flies out. Store it in a cool, shaded place for about 7 days. During this time, the mixture will release a pleasant, sweet-sour smell. This is lactic acid fermentation at work. If you see a white film forming on top, that's a good sign. It's a healthy yeast colony protecting the ferment. After a week, strain the liquid using a mesh cloth or fine sieve. This liquid is your probiotic soil shot concentrate. To store it, just keep it sealed in a dark bottle away from sunlight. Properly fermented liquid fertilizer can last for several months, as long as you keep it cool and airtight. Oh, and don't forget, the remaining solids can be composted or buried near your tomato roots as a slow-release organic matter. How to apply the probiotic soil shot to tomatoes. This is where timing and dilution really matter. The fermented liquid is concentrated and absolutely full of microbial life, so it should never be applied directly. For general feeding, mix 1 part fermented liquid to 20 parts water. That's about 50 milliliters of the concentrate per liter of water. For a stronger feeding during flowering or early fruiting, you can go up to a 1 to 10 dilution. Apply it as a soil drench once every 2 weeks. Pour it directly at the base of each plant, making sure the liquid reaches the root zone. For foliar feeding, just strain the solution again and use the same dilution ratio. Oh, and spray in the early morning or late evening to prevent leaf burn. The lactic acid bacteria in the solution will also help suppress leaf pathogens, acting as both a fertilizer and a biocontrol agent. If your soil is weak or compacted, consider adding a tablespoon of liquid fish amino acid or seaweed extract to every liter of diluted probiotic tea. This combination mimics the balanced nutrient profile found in nature, where microbes, organic matter, and trace minerals coexist in harmony. Why fermented fertilizers outperform compost in tomato growth? Traditional composting is excellent for long-term soil building, but it's slow and depends on aerobic decomposition. Fermented fertilizers, on the other hand, are predigested and teeming with live microbes that immediately colonize the soil. This makes nutrients instantly bioavailable. The sugars and organic acids created during fermentation improve cation exchange capacity, meaning your soil holds and releases nutrients more efficiently. Tomatoes, being heavy feeders, respond particularly well to this kind of microbial abundance. The lactic acid bacteria improve phosphorus solubility, while the yeast component enhances root growth hormones. Studies have even shown that lactic acid bacteria reduce soil-borne diseases and improve tomato fruit firmness. The result is not just faster growth, but also better quality fruit with higher sugar and nutrient content. Farmers in Japan, Korea, and the Philippines have used variations of this KNF method for decades to rejuvenate depleted soils. Fine-tuning your brew for different garden goals. For leafy greens, a more nitrogen-rich ferment can be made by adding green kitchen scraps such as lettuce leaves or spinach stems. For fruiting crops like tomatoes and peppers, banana peels and pumpkin waste, add potassium and calcium, critical for fruit development. Adding crushed eggshells during fermentation can further enhance calcium content, helping prevent blossom end rot in tomatoes. When your soil is thriving, you'll know it. Not because your plants look better, but because the soil itself changes. It becomes darker, crumbly, and alive with earthworms. You'll see roots spreading deeper and microbial mats forming just beneath the mulch layer. That's the real indicator of success-living soil that sustains itself long after the fertilizer has broken down. The old wisdom behind the KNF secret, what makes this method so powerful, isn't just the fermentation process, it's the mindset. Korean natural farming teaches us to work with nature instead of forcing it. Fermenting food scraps is not waste management, it's resource transformation. Every peel and leftover becomes part of a cycle that feeds soil, plants, and ultimately us. When you pour that probiotic soil shot around your tomato plants, you're not just fertilizing, you're inoculating your soil with a living community that will keep working long after you've watered. It's gardening at its most elemental, using biology as the engine of fertility. If this guide helped you rethink your approach to soil health, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more deep dive methods that connect traditional farming wisdom with modern organic gardening. And if you've ever tried fermented fertilizers before, share your experience below. Your insight might just inspire another gardener to bring their soil back to life.